How did I become a king of drama? You know, it's just a funny thing. I don't know. Like I can't deny the fact that it seems like everywhere that I go, drama follows. I lived at a place in Vancouver, and there was a drama I was very much involved in. And so out here where I live now, it seems like it's just drama, from drama to drama to drama. And so now where I live right now, it is once again, and you really got to look at that. Or I really got to look at that because it's like, when you see a pattern in your life, it helps just to look at it. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, but it's still something to take a look at, to reflect on. And so, this drama that is taking place right now has to do with noise disturbances in this house that I live in. It's a shared space, and there are some things that I've been struggling with, and I kind of reached a point where it's just like I don't know what to do, because like it's to do with people having sex, and it's like, and I've talked with a lot of people about this, and it's the consensus is, amongst a lot of people that no, it is not pleasant, it is not desirable, but sometimes it's just the way that it is. Like if you live in an apartment, so it's like it's common. And it's like, okay, but is it right? There's a lot of things that are common, things that happen commonly, but that doesn't mean that it's right. And so this is where I run into an issue, is because I am a person who said lives, has certain ideals and has certain standards which I do everything that I can to uphold myself to, and to practice what I preach. And so it's and I don't expect anybody else to to think the way that I do. And it's very much like the whole veganism thing. It's like, it's very common for people to eat animals. Is it right? I don't know. I mean, and that's part of the conundrum about being a person who is suffering along with the animals and just wants to see the suffering stop. And so, I'm in this situation here, and it's just like, I've done what I can to reach out to people. And, I came to the point where it's like, I don't know what to do here. Say if I'm meditating or if I'm sleeping, there's a curfew in the house, it's 9 o'clock. And say if I'm sleeping and then people start going at it, it's just like, what am I supposed to do? It's unfortunate because the place where I live, it's like there's a whole half of the house over there where there is no issue with sound, but the layout of the house is that our bedrooms are stacked on top of one another. So unfortunately for me, when they're going at it, the floors creaks and the bed creaks and they creak, and so it's just like and I'm outnumbered with my opinion on the people who live here. Everybody says you just got to deal with it. It's a non-issue, and it's like, it's tough because like for myself, everything in me is telling me to speak up, that there is something not right about it. I mean, and I feel like I wouldn't be true to who I am if I didn't speak up. Like I talk about having healthy boundaries, and it's like it's not just a concept, it's real. You have to voice where you're at. You can't tell other people what to do, but you say, hey, this is how what you're doing is affecting me. I would appreciate it if there was some way that that things could be done differently. But the response that I received was that they refuse to mitigate their sexual activity. And I just have to then make a choice about whether or not I'm going to stay living here or not, because I don't know that I can just like, be in bed. It's 11 o'clock. I can't just put on music. I guess I could get up out of bed, like I'm woken up from sleeping as a result of this. And I guess I could get up and then go and get some like headphones and like put some music on or something like that. I mean, that is one option. I mean, it's just, but it's like, it's funny. I'm almost at a loss for words of how to like, I just can't even believe that I have to kind of deal with this. But I mean, it is what it is. And, or like say when I'm meditating in the morning and then it's like, all of a sudden people are going at it and it's just like, I guess, it's a bit of a challenge to have my existence. And it's one of the challenges is cohabitation and certainly shared spaces. And, it's something to learn about and to learn from. I mean, I will never forget this portion of time in my life, and I know that this time will pass, so I'm just doing what I can to handle it in the most mature, respectable manner and maintain my own integrity, not get into an ego battle of, this is not a war. I practice passivity. I think Lao Tzu says something like in a battle, the victory will go to he who knows how to not give up or surrender, but how to yield. I am not looking for a fight here. I just, and it's a tricky one. So like I reached out for third-party arbitration because sometimes when you're dealing with a bit of a tricky situation and you're not feeling like, I'm feeling like I'm a little bit ganged up on. There's 4 people that feel a certain way, and it's just like, just like with veganism, it's just like, there's a lot of people that do not feel the way that I feel. And so it's just like, it helps to have just some other entity to come in and be like, okay, and like just, it's like, and I said, like, let's just talk about this. And if at the end of the day, if I'm out to lunch, that's fine. And then I will just accept whatever the consensus is. And then I have a decision to make on how I'm going to handle the situation. And it's, and that's what I'm doing. I mean, and so, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting scenario to go through and to be a part of this. And it's like I just I don't know, I try to be flexible, I try to be understanding, I try to, it's funny because there was like an incident here with wind chimes, and it's like the people upstairs didn't like the wind chimes, apparently that they were unnecessary is how they were described. And it was just like, and you know what I did? I just immediately took them down and I said, hey, this is a shared space. It's important that everybody feels respected and it feels comfortable. And if there's something that is to do with me that is, you're not feeling good about, then man, instantly make that change. Like, of course, for me. And it's just funny because it's like wind chimes versus people having sex. And so then when it comes to me, it's just like, deal with it. And I sit with that, and it's just like, take a deep breath, Josh. This is a challenge. You're being gifted with an opportunity from God, the universe, your higher self, or whatever, to practice what you preach. And I'm doing that. And it's funny too, like that whole thing about the chimes and like what's necessary, because it's like, no, they're not necessary. But I like them. I mean, but It's like music isn't necessary, but it's helpful if you want to dance, or like, it's a funny thing. So this is about like sex, pleasure, intimacy and stuff like that. And it's interesting because like I am a person who, it's not that I don't enjoy pleasure, but I've learned that of the pitfalls of it, specifically from like the book Meditations from Marcus Aurelius, and also from the teachings of Buddha. It's just like it's crazy how much is tied up in this idea of pleasure seeking, the things that you do and that you get caught up in and that you get carried away with, that you go about, how you go about seeking pleasure. Like we're talking the drugs, we're talking the booze, we're talking the sex, we're talking the parties, like things that can really, it's not that you can't work with plant medicines holistically for healing. Of course, there's two sides to everything, or three sides to everything, but it's just like, pleasure is, even like with food too, like you can just like, you can eat yourself to death. You can like do drugs to the point where you fry your brain and you're not the same, and people can't handle being around you anymore because you just messed your wiring up. And it's like, I don't know if there's coming back from that. It seems like it's one of the few things like radiation, like that the body can't recover from. You can do certain amounts of damage that it's just like, most things, the body's this miraculous thing and it can just heal, and it's just this feedback system, and it's just like communicating with you, and it's beautiful and amazing, but it's that as well. So it's like, yeah, and it's like, it's not like I don't like to have sex. I mean, I'm looking forward to meeting the one, again. But I wait patiently. I trust that, I don't do dating sites because I trust that the universe will put me in alignment with whatever needs to be when it's relevant. And when I cross paths with a woman that I'm compatible with, who accepts me for who I am, and vice versa, then that gets to be a thing. But for now, I channel my energy in another way. And another thing too that this all brings up is like, I feel like it's like, as I go through it, I don't know if I'm out to lunch, put it like that. I can't tell. I'm doing my absolute best. I'm referencing all of the teachings that I'm aware of. I am talking with as many people as I can, and I'm listening to the voice inside. Always listening to my intuition, trusting, and I'm being as flexible and compassionate and patient as I possibly can be. So as far as I can tell, I'm maintaining my own integrity through the experience. And it's an interesting thing how, like, I feel like if I didn't deal with things exactly in the way that I am, then I would be a hypocrite, as a person who says things like, you always listen to the voice inside and trust it. You listen to your intuition, and it's like, doing so, that is your higher self communicates with you through vibrations that you feel in your core. And learning to interpret those messages is like having a fluid communication between yourself and something that is bigger than you. And so, and then like not just listening to it, but acting upon it. And I tell you, when I do that, sometimes it ruffles feathers. Sometimes things in my life change. Maybe I have to move out of here, but the change is always for the better. And I stand by this because it's my experience. It's just like when I live my life by a set of principles. I have a philosophy which I adhere to, which is not like I came up with it. It is what was taught to me by all of the greats that I have studied. People like Jesus, people like Lao Tzu, like people like Hermes Trismegistus, and and Marcus Aurelius, and the Buddha and Krishna, and these teachings they're timeless. Nobody owns them. It's just profound truths and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, and so, at the end of the day, I don't know, but I accept it. And I tell you, by staying true to myself and what I believe in, for not, I talk about healthy boundaries, and you cannot say that you love yourself if you allow people to walk all over you. What they say, what you allow to continue will, and someone can only ride your back if you're bent over. If you just allow things to just persist and continue, and it's just you will build up resentment inside, not towards other people, but towards yourself, because deep down that you should be expressing where you're at, not telling anybody else what to do, but saying, hey, this is how what is taking place is affecting me. I don't feel like, I'm being taken into consideration. So it's it feels inconsiderate, and it's I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss. I'm struggling to find the words to express myself. I don't know how to address the issue. I don't know if I'm right or wrong or out to lunch, or I don't know what to do, but I swear, and so, and that is, and that's just a funny thing. It's just being that person is how I am a drama king, but not like I like drama ever. I am a peaceful person. I do not, I do everything that I can to avoid drama, at the same time speaking my truth and standing up for myself. And so it's funny, why I love situations like this, and why I trust in the unfoldment of my life, because I know that coming through this and maintaining my own integrity, I will have made steps towards being able to handle drama in a more mature, respectable manner, and certainly being direct. The more I deal with some things, it's be direct, just be straight up, and don't wait. We're talking now. It's if you say you're going to reach out for somebody for third-party arbitration, it's the next phone call. It's not in a couple days or when you feel like it. It's do it, there is only now. Work with that, work with what is evident in the universe and whatnot. So yeah, thanks for listening. This is my therapy. I don't expect anybody to agree with me, but this is all I got. So it's this is my diary. This is my therapy. It's my journal. It's where I can express myself openly and not feel like I have to cater to everybody else's views. I can just for once, it's if there ever was a time and a place where I could be me and be real and be open and honest and upfront and straightforward and genuine and vulnerable, this is it. So, if you don't like what I have to say, don't write something in the comments. You know, that's not appropriate. You know, make your own video. Yeah, anyways, now I'm rambling, so take care and thanks for listening.